bad part of this is because the pay-per-view is running long, and I think Warrior and Wogan, Jesus,
Warrior and Wogan, yeah. I would have watched that match before watching those two.
every week.
Sometimes the road seems so long. Baby, gotta keep my heat on.
His brother Hawk, the Road Warrior pop is a real thing, and what they did for me, and they did for, I'm gonna, if I can, Dan,
Do it.
I want to speak as a black man, if I could,
Go.
just for a second. Okay.
Gee, please, if anybody is qualified on this podcast to speak as a black man,
Yeah, I grew up in an all-black neighborhood, but we loved wrestling. All the guys in my neighborhood.
you did?
We did. Saturday afternoons, we, watch all of our favorite wrestling shows, and then the Road Warriors came out. Yo, did you see the Road Warriors? Yo, the rest of my fellow crew that looked like me, never heard the song Iron Man before. We didn't know what that was. We thought that was a song made up just for the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
And that just the pump, and then when the Tama Iommi guitar hit, and they hit the ring at breakneck speed, we would all go nuts. And you look at little black boys in the streets of Northwest Philadelphia cranking Iron Man as loud as we can, thanks to the Road Warriors. And my buddy Tony, he thought the name of the group, he thought the song was called Black Sabbath, and the group was called Iron Man. Okay?
I mean, that's great, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Or if you were Kamala too, okay? That'd make it easier for you.
Here's the other cool thing the funny thing about it. He was born in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Yeah. Well, that's how he was when he came to the Spectrum, Dan. That's how he was announced. From Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. One half of the tag team, I don't know if I told you, Lou Albano's wrestling career. He was one half of the tag team known as the Sicilians.
That's true.
With the late great Tony Altomore. And the Sicilians, as a gimmick, they had the white silk scarf. They come to the ring with black jackets, white silk scarf, pencil thin mustaches, and the hats. Obvious heels. And they were so over, Dan.
That's a goddamn racist, man.
But it had worked so well, Dan, that not only did the fans hate them because they thought they were gangsters, actual Sicilians came up to them and said, "Hey, you guys need to tone that down." Okay? That's how over they were. He said, "You're giving us actual mobsters a bad name, so you need to cut it out."
Listen to me, you son of a bitch. If you don't knock it off, I'm gonna kill you.
And Lou, depending on who you ask, he talked to several legitimate businessmen, Italian mob types, about the Sicilians, and according to Lou, some gave their blessing, some didn't. But either way, the Sicilians were done. And they held a couple of tag team titles. One of them, the WWF United States Tag Team Champions, the precursor to the actual WWF Tag Team titles. But
listen to me, you son of a bitch. I swear to God, I'm gonna come into your house and I'm gonna blow it up if you don't knock it off. Hang in there, chat room. I appreciate you coming in. So they decided to let the pyro Alf as they lower the cage. Problem is, the old sparks cut fucking decorations on fire, and Great Muta had to climb to the top of the cage and put it out with his mist.
Well, he was the only one athletic enough to climb up
and
there.
The only one with apparently fire extinguishing equipment built in.
It's a gland underneath his tongue.
I want to say hello to Purple Flavor Trash, regular here and a good friend. Thank you for coming. Love you. And Muda missed putting out the fire. Exactly. I want to say a big welcome. He's been in, but he's never signed in before, I don't think. But a big thank you to Fourth Line Voice, who's in the chat right now, saying hi. He and I have been buddies for a lot of years. There's been a lot of drama that he and I both dealt with on the back end of hockey and wrestling Twitter and podcasting. Hockey can get kind of bullshitty like wrestling.
I know. There's much like wrestling, there's 4 people that like it.
That's true. But he and I are tape traders. I haven't been able to send him everything I have. He has, so I haven't been able to trade him yet. But he sends me all kind of shoot interviews that I haven't not been able to find for years. He sent me what are those Canadian potato chips? I even said it like I was from.
Poutines?
No,
Oh,
the
all
potato
dressed.
chips, all dressed. Yes, yes, delicious. I even said potato like I was from Philly, South Jersey.
Oh, that sounds filthy.
If you signed up, love it, boys. I am a Jim Cornette guy. Oh boy, we'll talk about that in a second. But my point is, cheese all dressed. That's it. Cheesies. Never. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah. Don't do that. The I lost my train of thought.
It's all right.
If you're into hockey fights, and I'm talking about not just NHL, every league that you can think of and every league you've never heard of, fourth
Right,
line
where they
voice.
take the boot off and cut the other guy in the face.
Not that bait, not murder, but old school hockey, fourth line voice on YouTube.
And the final buy rate numbers. Starcade did a 3.3. Survivor Series did a 7.0.
Jesus Christ.
But that was the first and only time that the WWF and the NWA would have head-to-head pay-per-views.
Your ratings on Wednesdays are a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that made me laugh. Go ahead, Craig. I'm not laughing at fans of. I love modern wrestling. Like I watch it. I watch it. Like TV's a bit of a pain in the ass to try to get behind because so many shitty people. Another discussion for another time. Listen to part 1. But like even with AEW, like we talked about in the past, who should have been and who isn't, and what they're doing. They just bring Sting back. Like how are they different? But the ratings thing, it's not a discussion. There's no discussion. I'm sorry. Wrestling's burning alive right now. And from the ashes are going to be these companies that, the likes of you've never seen before. But anybody saying ratings is a joke. Brian Alvarez. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Craig.
No,
Oh.
those numbers once again. WWF did a 7.0. NWA did a 3.3.
The people that are like, oh, it's not like it used to. And you stopped watching years ago. Before it got bad, quote unquote, before it got bad and it was all these people of color and other sexualities you didn't like, you stopped watching years ago. Stop it. Craig
Sound like
watches.
I watch, yeah, but they sound like the NFL fans that are they were
Oh.
kinda hot about the protests on Thanksgiving. It's like, I thought you stopped watching the NFL
Yeah,
when
exactly.
Kaepernick was doing it. So like, how do you? Why do you care?
We Colin Kaepernick, the guy that was told by a Green Beret to kneel because it was more respectful because that's how they honor their dead in wars, kneeling by praying. That guy?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
What do I know?
but then a black and white quarterback do it on Thanksgiving. It's like, oh, how dare they disrespect this?
I can't eat this turkey now because 2 men I don't know protested atrocities. Anyway.
1,900 fans, which was a $78,000 house at the time, which would translate into I think 135,000 right now. But that was the Christmas Day Tag Team Tournament to crown a new United States Tag Team champions. And in the final round, the team of Ernie Ladd and Stan Hansen lost to the team of Dusty Rhodes and Andre the Giant.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
I was about to say, what? You're like, oh.
Who could beat these? Oh, those guys. Okay.
Dusty Rhodes in the outro. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
Yeah, Ernie
right.
Ladd and Stan Hansen, yes, won. No, they lost to Andre and Dusty. And
Okay,
Andre-
I'll give it to you.
And that would be the only tag team championship Andre the Giant ever won. Well, I'm sorry, second. He and Haku were the WWF tag team champions. But that would be let that be the first tag team came over here. But even a guy like a Drew McIntyre, who was also trained in England and in Ireland, he can adapt to any style.
Man, and you know what? Can I just say the
Mhm.
amount of garbage that I read on the internet in other groups that I'm in on Facebook and how
Mhm.
they slam Drew McIntyre. Oh, worst champion ever. Most
What?
boring champion ever.
Who
I'm
says
like,
that?
are you that group that you quit?
Oh well, there you go.
I like it takes every fiber of my being to not go in there and just light the place on fire every week. And then I get told all the time, "Oh, I'm a troublemaker." No, I'm not.
No,
I'm
you're just fucking wrong about fucking Drew
I'm
McIntyre.
like the
That's all.
defender.
What's the name of the group? Name the group.
It's like wrestling fans or
Okay,
something.
well, wrestling fans, shut the fuck up. You're wrong.
Like I feel like I go
Worst.
in there every time I go in there. I'm like the old Paul Heyman catchphrase. I'm like the voice of the voiceless.
The worst. The worst.
No.
And I just I get in these arguments with these people, and they're like, oh, shut up, you're just a Bray Wyatt guy. And I'm like, I'm not just a Bray Wyatt. Like what?
My friend sucks. I love him dearly. He's a good guy, and I don't have a nasty thing. I don't have a bad, nasty, or mediocre thing to say about Sox. All positive things. Has not sat through as many years, and I don't mean this as a he doesn't know what he's talking about thing. I hate that grandstanding shit. Well, I've been watching wrestling for 50 years, but good for you. I'm very happy for you. The where that applies though is when somebody says they're the worst champion ever. I'm like, have you sat through the same 30 years I have watching
Yeah.
the what are hello?
Oh my god,
WCW 2000?
Oh,
That bad? Get the fuck out of here. Why'd I edit that fuck when I said fuck like 3 times before it?
no, like God.
Diesel 95. I'm the Kevin Nash mark.
He was a truck.
And he was a truck, exactly.
His gimmick was he was a truck.
He was a goddamn truck.
He was a truck. It's like giving the dinosaur the world championship in AEW. He's a friggin' dinosaur.
Go ahead, Craig.
I don't know.